The poor narc victim. If they gave out Oscars for playing the victim, your narc would have a room full. In his crazy world, he is the victim, not you. In this video, I'll describe how the narc plays the victim and what you can do about it. The content in this video is taken from my ebook, From Codependent to Independent, 21 Things You Must Do Before Leaving Your Narcissist, small n. This is the ebook transcript of the video series by the same name. You want to see me in person and you're more of a video person? Hey, buy the video series. If you want all the same content but at a much reduced price in an ebook form, then get From Codependent to Independent in ebook form. So on my website, along with all my other resources for escaping the narc, daviddclarkphd.com, Clark with an E. Now, today's content. As the narc sees your growing strength and assertiveness, because you're reading and applying From Codependent to Independent, he knows he's losing control of you. He knows you are on the way out. He's not an idiot. He says and does stupid things, that's true, but he's not an idiot. He can see what's happening. So he plays the victim card. The vast majority of narcs don't want a divorce. He loves controlling you. He doesn't want to lose control. You give him respectability. You take care of the kids. You do a lot of things for him. You provide sex. He doesn't want to lose money. He doesn't want to get a divorce. So he'll play the victim to keep you tied to him. It is a masterful and effective form of manipulation. His fake victim stance. He appeals to your kind, sensitive, caring nature, to your empathy. Many codependents are empaths. Well, he's appealing to that. He plays the victim to get your sympathy, to get the kids' sympathy, to get the sympathy of others, and to get you to stay with him. You probably have fallen for his victim act before, haven't you? If you stay with a narc long enough, it's a cycle of victimhood. When he sees you getting close to being fed up, and he sees assertiveness, he'll bring out the card. As long as it works, he'll do it every time. I'm going to cover 5 classic narc victim strategies and how you can respond. And again, want the details? Get the ebook From Codependent to Independent. Strategy number 1 is, this is the narc strategy. You've ruined my life, he'll tell you. He is in terrible, terrible pain because you have destroyed his life. I don't know how you sleep at night. When he drops these pathetic victim statements on you in front of the children, I'm about to cover them, here's how I want you to respond. You will use brief, assertive, edgy responses out loud in front of your kids. Because keep in mind, as he plays the victim, he wants to win your kids over too and turn them against you. If he can do that, much better chance you'll stay with him. Or if you end up leaving him, he'll win because the kids will be on his side. The narc says, you have made me miserable. Your response, no, you did that all by yourself. Again, make the statement, move on. Don't go back and forth with him. He says, you ruined our marriage. And he's serious. You say, no, that was you. Again, the kids need to see, this is the other narrative. This is the truth. He says, you never met my needs. Big fat lie. It's all you've been doing is trying to meet his needs. You say, I could never do enough. I've stopped trying. He says, you never loved me. Your response, not never, but yes, now I don't. Just go with it. Admit it. Later, debrief with each child and say, your father is playing the victim again. Your father is blaming me for what he has done. It's critically important for your children to get the truth from you. It builds respect, and also they can see the actual truth. He's going to be lying, the narc victim. Strategy number 2. The narc says, I have a disability. The narc weaponizes his physical illness or mental condition and uses it for sympathy and control. He'll say, what kind of person would leave a spouse, referring to himself, who is depressed, bipolar, on the spectrum, has MS, a heart condition, a stroke, cancer, kidney failure, loss of sight, is paralyzed, is an absolute moron? Okay, I made that last one up. You have to stay and take care of me, right? That's what he's thinking. Wrong. These physical and mental conditions are not why you are leaving. You are leaving because he's a narc and he is destroying you. And they're all a pack of lies anyway. And even if they're not, who cares? There are no exceptions in the biblical passages on divorce. For example, the Bible does not say you can divorce for chronic abuse unless your spouse has a serious physical or mental disorder. No. All God cares about is the chronic abuse. He doesn't care why it's happening. God knows it doesn't make any difference what condition the narc has. He's destroying you. He's destroying your children. He's destroying your relationship with your children. And I'll tell you something else. As the narc ages and his health, physical or mental, deteriorates, his abuse will get worse and worse. Narcs don't mellow. They get meaner and more abusive. So when the narc plays the health victim card, ignore him. When he plays this health card with the children, you will respond with brief, assertive truth because he wants to get the kids on his side. And as their father, he has a leg up. Or if he's their mother, or she's, these days, who knows? If she's their mother, they have an advantage. You tell your children in front of the narc and in private these things. Your father is using his health condition to guilt me into staying. I'm not leaving because of his health, kids. I'm leaving to save me and you from his abusive behavior. And you can list the abuses. I hope your father gets better, but I'm still leaving him. Strategy number 3. I'm going to kill myself. Classic narc victim technique. Many narcs will, out of desperation, threaten suicide. It's the ultimate manipulation. It is vicious emotional abuse. He wants you and your children to believe that it is your fault he is suicidal, that it will be your fault if he kills himself. The only way he won't kill himself is, guess what, if you stay. That's his message. Wouldn't it be great living under a suicide threat for the rest of your life? If this pathetic psycho ploy works, the suicide card, the narc will use it forever. Don't fall for it. If he actually does kill himself, and frankly, very few narcs will, it will be 100% his fault. His choice, his responsibility before God. And make sure the kids know that. Do you really want to stay with someone who will threaten suicide to maintain control of you? If he threatens suicide to you in private, ignore him. If he threatens suicide in front of the kids or threatens it to the kids in private and you find out, tell your children these things. I hope he does not harm himself, kids, but if he does, it will be his choice. He's trying to scare me into staying. This awful threat is abuse of me and you. Strategy number 4. You won't forgive me. The narc will change the narrative from his destructive abuse and all the damage it's caused to your lack of forgiveness. If only you would forgive him and stay with him, all will be well. The narc will, to you and the kids, admit part of his sin. He'll apologize multiple times, usually in general ways, vaguely, and he'll beg for your forgiveness. For him, forgiveness is not just forgiveness. Forgiveness means you stay with him and you keep working on the marriage. And many in the church, that's what it means to them too. That's not what it means. Not biblically, which is all we care about. Forgiveness and the marriage are two separate things. So when he brings up what he thinks is your lack of forgiveness in front of the kids or privately with the kids and you find out, here's what you can say and what you need to say. I will forgive you eventually. Bible says so, but that doesn't change the damage you have done to me. Stop pressuring me to forgive you. That's emotional abuse. It absolutely is. I do not believe your apologies. You have apologized many times before and have not changed. The kids need to hear that. And say, I can never trust you again. Strategy number 5. I love you so, so much. In a last-ditch effort, a narc Hail Mary, he will bring out the industrial strength love bombing like you've never seen before. He will promise you everything you've always needed. I'll go to church. I'll spend time with you. I'll talk with you. I'll pray with you. I'll make financial decisions with you. I'll put my mother in her place, like that'll happen. I'll stop drinking. I'll remodel the home. I'll stop watching porn. I've changed. Why leave now when I've changed, he'll say. And on and on and on. The narc won't do any of these things, at least not for long. The narc is trying to win you back, keep you from leaving, and get the kids on his side. You tell your kids these truths. In the midst of his love bombing campaign, he's making promises he's made before, kids. He has not changed. He's done too much damage to you and me. And tell the kids, watch your father when I do not respond to his love bombing, to his promises, to his fake repentance. He will act all hurt and depressed, and when that doesn't work, he will turn mean and abusive to me, because that's who he really is. Get them ready for that so it'll be confirmed. That's exactly what he'll do. Join our anti-narc team by subscribing to my YouTube channel. Together, we are making a difference. And you can get my ebook From Codependent to Independent on my website, davideclarkphd.com, Clark with an E.